to another episode of the Woolly Mastadon Creates podcast, episode 43. My name is Tori or Victoria, the mastermind behind the crazy, and thank you for joining me today. Before we jump into the episode today, I just wanted to let you know where you can find me on the interwebs. You can find me on Instagram as @Tori Schaffner. You can find me on Ravelry as lilwestie, which is lilwestie. You can find show notes on the blog, woolymastadon.wordpress.com. And of course, you can find me on YouTube here as Victoria Schaffner. And then I am on Facebook. I am just not as active there. So, I'm trying to think. I think that is all of the intro we have today. Today is Saturday, the 13th of March. It is a beautiful sunny day outside. I would have the window open, except that it'd be a little too noisy. Even though our street isn't very noisy, it just comes right through the window. So we don't need that today. So we're just going to jump in to the episode. Nothing really new to show today, but progress to show. So we'll get into that. So with that being said, I don't have any finished objects, but I do have quite a few works in progress, and we're actually going to start with the sock pouch. Let us see. Because I have done quite a bit of work on this today, and yes, I typically only work on this at work. So let's see here. So since we last spoke, there was no heel strand in, so I was right before this white line. So since the last episode, I have knit 6 inches of stockinette, and then all I have to do is switch needle sizes and go to a 1x1 ribbing in the black that I use as the toe. These are just regular toe-up socks with an afterthought heel. I'm knitting these on US 2.5 millimeter needles, I believe. And then I'm going to be switching down to US 1.25 millimeter needle, just because I want the ribbing to be a little tighter, but I still want to be able to have my dad get his feet through the top of the sock. So this is for my dad. So I am considerably farther. You're seeing the cables and the yarn and everything. But very pretty. Very, very pretty. Speckles and tonals and all of that beautifulness there. So I knit 6 inches on here. Now part of this is like I technically knit it at home, but I had training after hours, and there were points where it was like technical difficulties and we were trying to get all the computers to work. So while that was being sorted out, I was knitting. So I got pretty far on these. So that was super nice to have a little bit of knitting to work on. So technically it was during work, it was just at home, but I have been knitting on these at work as well. So I just need to switch colors. I'm knitting the heels, toes, and cuffs, out of a self-destructed, apparently, ball of Knit Pick Stroll and just a black. And let's just wind this up a little bit to like avoid it self-destructing pretty much any further than it already has. Oops. I don't know why it decided it didn't want to. It was attached to something. Okay. Anyway. And then this is Yarn Bee, I believe, from Hobby Lobby. Yarn Bee Authentic Hand-Dyed Tonal. I know the color is Hazel Basil. So this is what we're working with. And this cake is also self-destructing, which, what's new? All my yarn self-destructs, apparently. But anyway, so I have gotten quite a bit of a ways on here. This sock is almost complete minus the heel. And then I start the next toe, or the next tube, and go from there. So that is my first work in progress. Quite a bit of work on here. And there's going to be a theme. The simpler projects, well, there will be quite a bit of work on. So, well, there will be something to show. But before we get to that, I'm going to show the progress on my Shui Shrug by Suzanne Summers. This is a brioche shawl slash shrug slash cardigan that is going to be amazing once it's done. And I was working on this every night for a while. It's all I wanted to work on. And then this last week I haven't picked it up just because it's been a busy week and I just really wanted super simple, plain projects. However, since we last spoke, I have gotten quite a bit done. So this is the right side. Let's see. My needles are actually starting to be a little too small for this project. But this is the Shui Shrug by Suzanne Summers. This is actually, technically it would be this way, because this is the shoulder area. And this is the correct side. This is the inside, which arguably has more contrast, but you know, I didn't realize, I've never knit brioche before, so I didn't know the proper way to do this. I apologize, it sounds like my mailman is yodeling. He likes to sing, but it almost sounded like he was yodeling for a moment. So, you know, distractions. But anyway, so I've knit quite a bit on this considering the amount of time it takes. It's super fun. I'm knitting these out of Knit Pick Static. This is the Taos colorway. And then this is the Beanstalk colorway. He's really singing really loud. It's funny. He sings. He sings quite a bit. And when he's walking down the street to deliver the mail, he sings his heart out. You know, hey, what you need to do to get through your workday. So these are the two colors I'm using. And yeah, I've gotten a ways in this. Now that I'm pulling this out, I really want to work on it again. So I think I'll work on it today. We'll see. But it's really fun. It's looking really cool, and I'm very excited to see how this turns out. Very excited. It's intense and extremely bright, but I am extremely excited. These are also being knit on US 3.25 millimeter needles for those who need to know. But yeah, super bright, super exciting. I'm very excited about that one. But that one was mostly last week as opposed to this week knitting. This week, I did make a bunch more granny squares since we last talked. Not these. They'd all be the dusty green. I'll just, every couple nights, I just decide I'm going to just crochet one or two. You know, like I'm going to do a couple granny squares and just go from there. So I've done, I don't know, I've maybe done 5 or 6 since we last spoke, so I am slowly working on these. I just don't think to set them in a different pile after I've crocheted them, and I just totally dropped one. Whoops. But yeah, so I have been working on these. These are out of Red Heart Super Saver, and it's worsted yarn, and I'm using a USH, I have it right here, a USH 5mm crochet hook, and I'm just using this one because I had gotten one with a gripper before I got my Knit Pick set just to use for blankets, and so can I make it focus? Maybe. But I just got one of these. I don't know what brand it is, if it's Clover or what have you, but I really like it. It just stays with my blankets, so I'll just chuck that back in there. But I have been working on this, so a few of those done because they were just kind of mindless projects. And then I have been working on my granny stripe blanket, of course. And I think I finally have some to show, especially because this is all I have left of this cake. And then I have to wind a new one. So I've mostly used up this cake of yarn. And I figured, well, I think it's time to show it. So let's see. Let me find the top here. Okay. I've got a lot here. Let me find my stitch marker. Oh, I hear it. So since I last showed this on the podcast, where this little candy stitch marker is, this little bubblegum machine stitch marker, that is how much I've crocheted. So I've crocheted what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, like 17 or 18 rows, I think, since we last showed this. So this is how big it's getting. Not super big. It still could kind of, I don't know, can you see it in screen? Yeah. It could still could pass as like an oversized scarf. But now we're getting more into the wrap stage. But this is what we're looking like right now. I'm just going to kind of pan so you can see. I really like the neons that were appearing at the top right now. Like, that is amazing. So I'm excited to know that there will be more going in. And yeah, this is getting big. This is going to be queen size wide and quite long. Now, I do have plans to wind another magic cake today, so I have all the minis I had purchased with like my birthday and Christmas money in this basket, and then I also have scraps still that I can wind together. So I probably have enough to do, I don't know, probably 2 cakes more before I have to either wait until I finish more stuff or buy more yarn. And let's be honest, I might buy more yarn, so we'll see. But I have been working on this. It's been really great to just work on very popcorn crochet. You want to just crochet the next row to see the next color or get to the next color in the magic cake, because I did do a magic cake with the magic knots, so there's nothing to weave in except the first end and the last end. And I already wove in the first end because Midnight wanted to attack it, so I did that right away. So yeah, super easy. I color manage while I am making the magic cake, but no other way. And this is a 3.5mm crochet hook from Knit Picks. Just happens to be the pink handled one like the other one. But yeah, I am really enjoying this. This is super fun. It's nice and big. It's nice and squishy. Midnight likes laying on it. I was talking to my husband the other day, and I don't think he realized that this can't just be thrown in a washer like everything else. This will have to be hand washed, which is a labor of love, but I am willing to do it. That's the main reason why I didn't cast this on initially, because I was like, you know, this is going to have to be hand washed. But you know what? I don't care. I will hand wash it with pride. It'll be huge and ridiculous, and I'll probably have to wash it in a bathtub, but that's okay. I'm really, really enjoying this. It's just going to be full of and is already full of so many memories, because it's, right now, this is all scraps. This huge blanket that I have crocheted thus far is all scraps. None of this is purchased for the blanket, and yes, that'll change because it took me a very long time to amass this many scraps. I mean, probably 10 years maybe. Is that exaggerating? That might be exaggerating. I'm trying to think. Well, no. 2010 maybe I probably started getting sock yarn. This could be arguably 10 years in the making of scraps. So I don't want to, you know, I don't want this blanket to be exactly a lifetime project, so I'm probably going to buy yarn for it. Already have, probably will continue to, but it's really nice and I really enjoy it. So, this will go away for a while, and then I'll show you another update. Maybe once I finish a cake, I'll show an update, or I get to a point where I have to add more yarn. We'll see. But I have been working on this as well. So that's actually all I've been working on. I'm just looking to make sure I haven't forgotten anything. Nope, that's all I've been working on. Oh yeah, and in case you're curious what I'm wearing, I am once again wearing my featherweight cardigan by Hannah Fettig. This was knit out of Knit Picks Stroll Tonal in the Eucalyptus colorway, and I absolutely love it. I wear it to work at least once a week. It's amazing. I'd wear it every day if people didn't judge me. They probably would start judging me. But I love it. I love it so much. It's my favorite cardigan. But anyway, let me see. I'm saying a lot of ums today. Sorry. No sewing or spinning. I didn't get to spinning. Yeah, I just really didn't get to spinning. Well, maybe I think I spun actually a little bit on the skein over there. I did last weekend. I did. I spun a little bit, not a whole lot, so I'm not going to bring the wheel over here to show. I'll probably wait to show until I've actually got the plied yarn or a final skein, because you've already seen one little bit of it. So yeah, I am finishing up that, and actually I've got my spinning stuff here, so just a refresher. This is the color. It's Fate by Camelot Dye Works. And I've got the other bobbin on the wheel right now that I'm spinning up. So that is that. Stash enhancements, none. None that loves. I actually have more of a little activity I did, and I still got it in the bag because I haven't done anything with it. But I have Sculpey. I had forgotten that I had Sculpey, and I decided to just play with it a little bit to see what I could make. So I started by, I had an idea that I wanted some Ampersand earrings, and I didn't know if it would work, so I just used the plain white Sculpey, and I'm kind of sad I did because I think it worked so I might do this again. But I made some ampersands, and this isn't sealed or anything. I mean, I don't think you have to seal Sculpey, but like, you can see there's an ampersand, and I made 2 of them. I don't know if it'll focus. And then I made a different style ampersand. Let's do this like, and there's 2 of them there. And then I had never done like a marbled color before, so I decided to use some lime green and black to make some earring pieces. Well, we'll start with this was just some leftover. I made a really large disc. But then I just made a whole bunch of earring pieces. So let's see, this one was really cool. Like, it's hard to show these, they're so small. But I made 3 sizes of circle. And then I made, with the little leftovers, I made some wonky diamonds shapes. And then these will just basically get, I haven't decided if I'm going to like sand them down a little bit and then seal them and wear them. That might make the most sense so that the color doesn't eventually try to wear off. But let's get these all bagged up here quick before I like lose them. I made a little pile of like jewelry pieces with Sculpey. And it did take a while because it's been a while since I've done this, but it was really fun. Just something I haven't done in a while. I might go back to it. I don't know. I just want to finish these first before I do any more because they're just sitting in a bag right now. But I did do that, so we'll keep you posted if I continue to work on these and get them finished up. Other than that, oh, Not Knit Loves, I do want to shout out our air fryer. I don't know if I ever mentioned on here that we got an air fryer. We did. And we love it. I just want to say, yo, it's really, really nice. It's so nice to have an air fryer. It's fast. It is fast and easy to cook like chicken nuggets and all those unhealthy frozen foods from the store, but it's also great for cooking like regular potatoes. My husband's done chicken in it. I've done chicken in it, but I did an experimental recipe that didn't work, so it's not the air fryer's fault. The chicken itself was insanely juicy on the inside. It was just the way I had made the outside, it just didn't work. So that didn't work, but the chicken would have been amazing if it wasn't cooked the way it was. But yeah, just want to shout out the air fryer. Ours happens to be teal. And it's great. But yeah, if you've ever been thinking about getting one and you have the means to do so and you have a space for it, highly recommend. They're really cool and they're really great. Otherwise, yeah, I don't really have much going on. We'll just move into life lately. Like I mentioned, it's been super nice outside, sunny. It was in the 60s a couple days this week. I haven't been wearing jackets to work. It's been great. And I understand it'll probably snow another time, but like there's no snow on the ground right now. It officially finished melting yesterday. So when people down here are like, oh, it'll snow again, this isn't actually spring. It's like, this is spring. There is no snow on the ground. This is spring. It's great. It's really, really nice. Like I said, I'd have this window open if it wasn't as noisy as it is normally. But it has been so nice. So it's just kind of a mood booster. It's so nice. But other than that, it's been a super busy week at work. I've had a lot of overtime just because it's been busy. So it's one of those things where that's why a lot of these other projects got touched other than Shui, Shrug this week, just because I wanted something simple, but I wanted to be able to just not think about it and work on it. So that's why the Granny Square blankets got work, and obviously this got work because of training. So it was a little different week that way. But otherwise, I'm trying to think. Not much going on. I've got a lot of plants started. I started another spider plant, so that finally got repotted into soil. And yeah, I've been watching all my plants grow because it's finally that season where they're getting new leaves. And I'm scheming to possibly get, I really want chives for out on the patio this summer. We'll see if I do it. But there's a few things I want to do. We'll see if we do them or not. But yeah, it's just been really nice. The weather's been warmer and it just makes you want to do more things. So I am very distracted. I feel like I'm super all over the place today. So with that, I probably should let you go. I just want to make sure I haven't forgotten anything. I don't think so. So with that, again, you can find me on Instagram as Tori Schaffner. I'm definitely most active there. You can find me on Ravelry as lilwestie. You can find all the show notes and information on the blog at woolymastodon.wordpress.com. You can find this podcast on YouTube. If you enjoyed it, please like the video, or unlike it, whatever. Subscribe, comment below, share it with your friends so we can grow this little community on YouTube. And I'm trying to think, did I miss any? Facebook honorable mention. I'm just not active there. So with that, I hope you have another wonderful week ahead, and I will see you in my next podcast. Bye.